Hello, Fruit Force. This is Captain Fruit reporting for duty. And today, for the episode of Road Rage, I'm doing a walk. It's a beautiful sunny day out. It's cold as heck, but it's sunny and looks nice. So I'm doing my morning walk, and my goal's still to continue to improve my health so that I may live longer and be there for my kids. And, I just want to live longer. What can I say? So being healthy is the key to there. Anyway, today's topic, as I mentioned earlier, I was going to start including in my video segments things about wealth, getting wealth, and being successful. And so today is a message to ComicsGate creators or any creators in general. And that's the not giving up. One of the worst words that we can let seep into our minds is the word impossible. Now, I am a realist. I believe, there is points where you have to look at reality. For example, I'm probably never going to make the NBA. I suck at basketball. I don't have a good jump. I've got a bad knee. And I'm too old. But it doesn't mean I couldn't try, and maybe a fluke will happen. It's easy to miss success by just a few feet. So I want to give an example of removing impossible. Henry Ford. A lot of people know a lot of Henry Ford, but they don't know every story about Henry Ford, so maybe you know this one, maybe you don't. Well, one of the things Henry Ford is known for is the development of the 8-cylinder engine. Yes, car people, here we are, 8 cylinders of power. Yes. Well, back in the day, before the 8-cylinder, it was known to not be able to be done. They could not cast an 8-cylinder engine. Henry Ford decided he wanted an 8-cylinder engine. He went to his engineers and they told him it was not possible. He told them, do it anyway. Months passed. He came back, still nothing, not possible. And he continued to say, do it anyway. They had it on paper. What could be done? A year later, came back to the engineers and once again was told, not possible. We have not made any progress. And Ford said, keep at it. So therefore, he had them keep at it. And surprisingly, almost suddenly, like a light switch flipped, something changed. They figured it out. The 8-cylinder engine was born. Now, why am I saying that? Because we often hear, you can't break into the market. Well, ComicsGate and other indie creators have proven otherwise. There's ways to do it. There's ways by networking, communication, working hard, getting these people in line, contacting people that know what you don't know to find a way to get it done. Sometimes the problem might be financing. Okay. But it is not impossible as to do. So here, where's the finance part? Well, first, it's the motivation, but two is the other part. Be careful with debt. Often people believe in the theory that you have to go into debt to make money, and that's not true. If you need to make money to pay an artist or something, maybe get a second job, maybe do some side work, maybe sell some things that you no longer need. But it's very risky to go into additional debt for a project that may or may not be successful. Yes, I'm very aware of the risk versus reward premium in spending somebody else's money. But when you spend somebody else's money, there's an expectation of you to pay it back. And if not, could lead to bankruptcy. So I strongly suggest, don't think that project is impossible. You may be thinking, how do I pay an artist? Maybe do it gradually. Maybe one step at a time. A page at a time is what it takes. And a plan to get there. You're going to be seeing that plan in my Patreon here very soon. I think what I'm going to start doing, because I haven't the money myself yet to be paying for an artist, so this fits me greatly. So what I'm going to be doing, I think, is I'm going to start by on my Patreon, putting it as a Patreon and subscribe star only. They get to see some of the writing I have done for this comic book that I'm having coming out, the C-List. That way they can check it out and see ahead of time for themselves. So if you're interested in seeing what's going on with the C-List, which, don't get me wrong, it has a lot of work to go. It's one of the reasons it's taken so long. One of my life has taken a lot of twists and things that have just taken a massive amount of time. Two, writing stuff in this nature, fiction is not my strong suit. Mine is more academic. So this has been a nice transition. So I did what I just told you. It's not impossible. I went out and I looked for help. And I'm still going to continue doing that. That's going to be one of the biggest things in my situation. I am going to be seeking help left and right. What is the way I should do this next? What's the next step? And a lot of wonderful people in this community have done nothing but roll out the carpet to help me, and for that I'm thankful. Also, if you're interested in maybe penning or drawing a comic book, let me know in the DMs. I'm going to start looking for people maybe to give me some character models for the heroes and villains in my comic book, The C-List. We'll see how many people are interested. Hey, we'll see what's going to go on there. But then I'm hoping that this interest in the C-List maybe will also help generate some desire in the Patreon and the Subscribe Star, because my channel is 100% fan funded. I do not do YouTube advertising. I have a major disagreement with YouTube policies and things, so you know what? I'm not going to give them that opportunity for that money. Plus, I don't want anybody to ever think that I'm indebted to any kind of system because of ad revenue. No. The Patreon and Subscribe Star supporters are the executive producers of my channel. Without them, this channel would not be possible. Plain and simple. The upgrades and things and stuff that I've purchased for this channel are really due to the support I have received. Otherwise, it was the cash outflow of my pocket. The comic books I review, I make sure I buy. Yes, do I get digital scans sometimes and things to do it? Yes, because it makes it easier. But every book I review, I make sure I buy. I just feel I shouldn't review it if I don't purchase it. But that's me, and I'm not judging anybody that does otherwise. So that's one of the reasons I don't do a ton of comic book reviews, for example. They're expensive. $3.99 or so a pop. Wow, you know. I can only afford so many, so I some get for just pleasure of reading, absolutely. Things like that. I support ComicsGate books, other indie creator books and things like that I find interesting. And I try to promote them as possible on my channel. So if you want to be a part of that and help me succeed in that, feel free by all means to help support in Patreon and Subscribe Star. I really need it, because that money also is going to be going towards now my comic book. Because the next step I had was to get the computer taken care of, so now I can do more advanced things. I have that. The only thing I need to add to that computer is a webcam, and I might be able to pull that out of an old laptop and make a webcam. So I'm going to look into that. If not, I might have to purchase one out of pocket or with some Patreon help first. After that, though, the money's starting to get saved up for paying an artist and things to move the comic book forward. That means I'm going to need all the support I can get. So how can I get support? I have to show you guys what's going on, don't I? And that's the game plan. As I said, nothing is impossible. So if you want to make a book, make a plan. If you want to make whatever product it is, a video game, make a plan. If you have the word impossible in your dictionary, it might be time to cut it out. I understand being rational and being reasonable. But a lot of times we think things are impossible because of the work involved. There's ways to do it. Maybe it's saving a little bit of extra money, cutting out dollars that you spend on lunch. I don't know. You find it in yours. Put it in your budget this much. If it's something that's passionate, that you're passionate about, that you want to do, you can find a way to get it done. Look at some of these people now that have had ways to make successful comic books that didn't have these avenues before, like the Umbrella guy. I believe the Yellow Flash is working on his own project. Lots of people are working on projects. You know, we have a board game, I believe it is, or a card game or something in that respect getting me worked on by Weaponized Nerd Rage. All kinds of cool projects. I mean, even a guy like Cecil, and no offense to Cecil, Cecil's funny, you know, but Cecil, he's got a project. And this thing, he's aligned himself with people, and that worked. It's going to be awesome. This maybe his, you know, I'm prejudging that. I shouldn't say that, but the possibility is awesome. That's what I mean there. So it is not impossible. So my warning to you is don't go broke producing this project. Find ways to get it done without debt. Find ways to make it happen. Selling things you don't need. For example, I'm thinking about possibly selling my issue of the Adventures of Batman, or Batman Adventures, I forgot what it's called, which is the first appearance of Harley Quinn in a comic book. That could get me a good chunk of money. That could get some pages done. Do I want to get rid of it? Not really, but then I think again, what am I going to do with that book? It's sitting in plastic in a shelf, you know, in a chest of file cabinet drawers that I'm probably not going to pick up and read again. So maybe that's something I can use that's going to be leading more towards my goals. So those are things that you consider doing. Be rational about it. Don't get rid of things that you want if you don't have to, right? Get rid of things that you don't need and don't plan on using anymore. So that's just a thought. I'd like to hear your thoughts on this subject about removing the impossible. How might somebody save those extra dollars to achieve that dream? If you don't have a dream of building something and things too, that dream could also be building your retirement, which I strongly suggest. And by the way, if you are under 25, there's no reason you should not be able to become a millionaire by retirement easily. If you're struggling and need help with tools for that, let me know in the DMs or in the comments section. Or even just start paying attention to these videos. I'm going to be tying in things like that to help you become wealthy. If you're older than that, let's say 45 or above, there still doesn't mean you don't have time to acquire wealth. Remember, if you get, and this sounds harsh, but it's not that hard. If you put away 15% a month, probably at around 45, if you put around 15% of your income away a month, you could probably generate over $500,000 by the time you retire. And you can live off of 8% of that, which is $40,000 a year if you did your things right and paid off your bills. You have $40,000 a year without a house payment. $40,000 a year to live off of. That covers your medical and everything else, which is not bad. And that's just at 8%, meaning if you have good investments, your retirement fund is actually still growing even while you're living off of it. But we'll have to look at how to get to there. There's ways to do it, and it does take work. So, for example, Dave Ramsey says, if you live like no other, you can live like no other. And what he means by that is if you watch what you're doing, be more smart, because the average person doesn't, and they spend themselves broke. If you watch what you spend now and live like unlike other people by being more careful, later on, you can live unlike any others by having a whole lot more and enjoying life even more. So let's do that together. All right, so let's achieve the impossible. Thanks for listening to this video. Until next time, keep it frugal.